As we continue our discussion of interest groups this unit, I want to explore a little bit of the types of interest groups. There are several different types of interest groups that exist in our society, and labels that we put on to interest groups based on the types of activities that they are pursuing and their goals. So what I'm going to do is provide a definition of each of the types of interest groups and some examples. We'll start with traditional interest groups. Traditional interest groups seek to promote the economic interests of their members. Your clearest example of this would be a labor union, something like the AFL-CIO, the Teamsters. Now, it's important to note that labor membership is on the decline over the past few decades, and that has really hurt the Democratic Party. Another type of example of traditional interest groups would be your business-oriented groups, something like the Chamber of Commerce. These are organizations in communities that seek to promote business and local business interests. And a final example of a traditional interest group, again, one who's promoting the economic interest of its members, would be your professional organizations like the American Medical Association or the American Bar Association, seeking out policy and conditions that are beneficial to their professional members. Our next type of interest group is a non-traditional protest group. A non-traditional protest group seeks to protest the status of its members and to convince the government to take action to right a past injustice. That would be seen in the work of the NAACP, a group that has sought to make sure that the African American community is well represented and that their rights are preserved and strengthened. A single issue group is, not surprisingly, a group that is seeking government action on one overriding issue. Your abortion groups would be a perfect example of this. They are seeking government action on abortion laws, either the pro-life groups or the pro-choice groups. A public interest group seeks to bring about good policy for society as a whole. You've got your environmental groups like the Sierra Club and Greenpeace. You've got a League of Women Voters group that is out there promoting good government and civic duty and awareness. You've got next the ideological groups, which want to convince government to implement policies that are consistent with their philosophies. You've got the Christian Coalition on one side of the spectrum, trying to get the government to enact policies in areas like gay marriage and abortion that are reflective of Christian doctrine. Then you've got the American Civil Liberties Union that is seeking policies that adhere to the Bill of Rights and the intent of the founders when it comes to the Bill of Rights. Oftentimes that'll mean that the ACLU is trying to shut down organizations in school that promote prayer and religion because they see that as a violation of separation of church and state, and that would put them directly in conflict with the ideological beliefs of the Christian Coalition on the other end of the spectrum. Governmental lobbies like the National League of Cities, the National Association of Governors, the Mayor's Association, these are groups that are within the government and they're trying to get federal funds to come to their entities and their level of government. And finally, you've got political action committees, which we'll discuss in more detail as their own standalone topic a little bit later. And then the second topic for today is interest group incentives. There are several different types of incentives that interest groups utilize to gain membership. There's the material aspect, where they are looking at a very tangible benefit given to a person, something that has value. AARP, the American Association of Retired Persons, offers discounts to its members on auto insurance and homeowners insurance, as well as assistance with medical insurance. That's a tangible benefit. Many interest groups use magazines or calendars or t-shirts as a way to draw membership in and promote their organization. Propositive incentives are the incentives you get because you believe in the cause. You think that it's a greater good that you're participating in. So if you're joining an environmental group, one of those public interest groups, you believe that your cause is bigger than yourself and that that's your incentive, is to help others. And finally, there's the solidary incentives, and this is the friendship, relationship part of joining a group. And if your organization has club meetings where you can go and meet with people that are part of this organization, you have a way to make friends and expand your social circle. And a lot of people see a benefit in that as and a reason for joining interest groups.